are some cars you must buy inside of Driving Empire. Today I'm going to be showing you these cars. Before we do that though, make sure to subscribe and drop a like in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so the first thing I did when I was picking these must-buy cars is going to licensed vehicles, because these licensed cars tend to be more powerful than the normal vehicles. So there's actually 3 that I've noticed. 2 of them are in a similar price range. One of them is really cheap. Let's start off with the cheap one. So let's say you don't have much money, for example, and you can only spend 280k, or if you have even less money than that, 165k, right? So these 2 cars, the Noble M600 or M600 Speedster, doesn't really matter which one you pick, both of them are very similar. I mean, it's the same car, just this one doesn't have a roof. But basically, these 2 cars are insanely fast for the price. Like, when I say insanely powerful, they are insanely freaking powerful, man. These cars, like, are actually crazy for the price. So, if you don't have much money, I would say this car is a must-buy car. Let me go ahead and show you guys why. Alright, so keep in mind, this car after upgrades is only a couple $100,000, right? But this thing has hypercar performance. Wait until you see the top speed you can get for this cheap price. Now, also, if you got the coupe version, that one is legit completely free. When you start the game, you can pick that as your starter car. So, this thing right here is actually going 200 and 307 miles per hour for less than $1 million, for like probably 500k after upgrades, right? So that's crazy, first off. But then you take this car is free. When you start the game, you can pick this car to be your starter car. You spend all the money on upgrades, right? Keep in mind, both these are going to be very similar in performance because they're similar in price. They're basically the same thing. This thing can also go 298 miles per hour. Not as fast as the convertible or the drop top one, but like still, think about it. This is ridiculous, like how fast these cars are for literally only a couple $100,000 after upgrades. Like, this one is actually crazy because you legit get the car for free, and then upgrades are only like 200k, I would say, or something. So that is wild, right? And if you guys happen to get the event car version of it, this one's even faster. This one was also free from an event. So if you got this one, that's insane, bro. These cars are must-buys. Of course, you can't get this one anymore, but like still, if you can get the other 2 and you don't have much money, these are must-buy cars. But let's go ahead and take a look at some more expensive options if you have a ton of money. Alright, so next up, this one isn't actually quite a hypercar yet, but it's borderline hypercar. Nearly $1 million. After upgrades, it will be $1 million. This is the 2000 TVR Cerberus Speed 12. Now, this car will really shock you with its performance around the track and with speed. So let me go ahead and show you those 2 things real quick. Alright, so I'm in my TVR Cerberus Speed 12 right now, and let's go ahead and see the top speed real quick. So we're probably going to be going, my guess would be faster than those 2 first cars I showcased. Of course, you know, if you don't have this budget, you can always get those 2 first cars. But this thing can go 316 miles per hour top speed. But let's go ahead and take it to the circuit race, and you're about to see how this thing can maneuver around the track. Now, I'm not going to do the full circuit race in this car for the video because that would make this video way too long because I got to take some other cars around the track. But I'll just show you guys basically how this thing can go around turns and how it handles itself. So, you can see it handles itself very well. I didn't even touch that wall. And you guys know I'm a terrible driver. And if I'm doing pretty good in this car, I would say it's a good car because sometimes, you know, when I have a better car, I can actually drive better around the track. And I'm definitely driving better right now. So, this car just has some amazing turning capabilities in this game. Like, it just turns so freaking well. It's smooth as butter. It's so good, bro. You guys, if you're in like a bit below the $1 million budget, this is definitely the best car for you to buy. But we still got a few more cars to take a look at, so let's go ahead and go back over to the dealer. Alright, now this next car is a must-buy for top speed, and it also just looks freaking amazing. We got the 2021 Hennessy Venom F5. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the capabilities of this car. This is a 400 mile per hour top speed car, I believe. So, let's go ahead, go outside, and try to reach 400 miles per hour with this thing. Alright, pulling onto the highway right now. Time to go 400 miles per hour in this thing. So, we're going to be going crazy. Like, this thing is insane. We can go literally 372 without boost. With boost, 400 miles per hour. Definitely the fastest top speed car. Well, actually, there is one faster. It's actually the Devel 16. But the thing is with that car, it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird car. It doesn't do good around the track at all. Well, this car actually still has some track capabilities, so, you know, this car is just better overall than that car, which is why this one's a must-buy and that one isn't. But there still is one more car on our list that is a must-buy for the track. Alright, so next up we got the Pagani YR. Now this thing will cost you $7.5 million, right? But it's worth the price because the way this thing can move around the track is unlike anything else you've ever seen. So let's go ahead and take it around the track. Now I don't know if this is the best track car in the game, but for the price and all-around performance, this makes this car a must-buy. So let's go ahead and do a full circuit race actually. Let's teleport over and let's go ahead and take a look at how this thing can do. Alright, here we go. We are off on the track. This thing can immediately get all the other cars away from it at the start, and oh my god, this Hennessy is catching up. But no, I'm not the best driver. I'm gonna put that out there. This bot might be a bit better than me, but this thing you're gonna see, just like the TVR I was showing, has no trouble going around these turns, smooth as butter. I love the way this thing feels going through these turns. This is, of course, the track weapon in the game to use. I mean, come on, just look at this thing. It looks like a track monster. So we can rip up the track in this car, and I think I've set my personal best track time in this car as well. Now, you can see right now, you know, my driving skills aren't on point as they usually are, so, well, they usually aren't on point, so I guess they are. But yeah, you know, you guys know I'm not the best driver, but let's say I was locked in and going crazy in this car. At the end of this race, I'll show you what happened the one time I did lock in on a race. I was able to set a really good time for myself. I think it was like 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that, so this thing, it can get really good track times with the right driver. And of course, you know, for bad drivers like me, it still helps me around the track because it's better at turning than other cars. Oh, shoot. You see right there, that's an example of my bad driving, guys. So my bad if I'm not giving the best representation for this car. Trust me, it's better than I make it look. I'm just a really, really bad driver. Alright, so I personally did terrible around this lap because I'm just bad at racing. But with a good time, from a bad driver, 2 minutes and 47 seconds is not bad. I mean, you can see that's a good track time, especially coming from a bad driver here. With a good driver, I've seen people get like 2 minutes and 30 seconds or lower. So, you know, this is a must-buy car if you are a track enjoyer. This thing is just amazing around the track. But there you have it. Those are your must-buy cars inside of Driving Empire. Of course, I've catered to each price range you can see, so hopefully, you know, I found a car for you to pick. But yeah, drop a like if you enjoyed this video. I would truly appreciate it. Subscribe, ring that notification bell so you never miss another upload, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.